What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be diving into the depths of Black Ops 3 and taking a look at some things that never actually came to be within Black Ops 3, and more specifically, the zombies aspect of Black Ops 3. So, with this one, we're going to be taking a look at 4 Gobblegums that never made it to the public, and thus have had their secrets lost to the test of time. And perhaps we get these at some later point in time, because Black Ops 3 is still promised support throughout the rest of the year and the life cycle of Infinite Warfare up until when World War II is released, so there's possibilities that we could have small content drops here and there that maybe add these in, but these have been in the game code and not found in the public versions at all just yet. So let's take a look at this. Firstly, number 1 up on this list of these 4 is one called Private Eyes, and I start with this one simply because this is the one that has the most information known about it. It's something that actually had a designation towards it and something that wasn't just a name and a design. It had some actual attributes tagged along to it as well. The others, not so much, and those are more so speculation, but Private Eyes was a round-based Gobblegum that would last for 2 rounds. It activated immediately and allowed players to have an indicator similar to that of the grenade icon that showcased whether a zombie was within 10 feet of the player who was using it. So, very similar to, once again, the grenade icon, but also kind of like that of Sixth Sense if you are a multiplayer person. Now, for a lot of people, this would not be anything that somebody would particularly go out of their way to use. For newer players, perhaps it would be something of great use, simply because they may not have a gaming headset, they may not be acclimated just yet to the situation of sound, or perhaps they don't have any sound at their disposal at all. So in that case, it could be something useful, but it seemed more of something that would take up more space in the gum choices rather than that of being something that people would actually use. So for that reason, that'd be my guess as to why it was actually cut and why it's never been released since. But we can also actually see this in a poster on Shadows of Evil, in which this was something that at the launch of the game kind of hinted towards us maybe coming out, but never in fact did. But nonetheless, it's going to kick off this little list here of Gobblegums that were never released. So number 2 up on this list, and once again we're now going into the ones that don't have really any information linked to them, so it really all comes down to speculation as to what they were, but they were cut from the game nonetheless. So let's start off with Seasickness, one that I think is quite funny to look at perhaps, but this one is more than likely based off of looking at the image for the Gobblegum, something that's based off the early stages of projectile vomiting. For those that don't know what that whimsical Gobblegum is, it is something that activates immediately and lasts for 5 rounds, where every zombie that you kill with a grenade or other large projectile will vomit uncontrollably. So that's probably something that this was more so that type of thing, but with a proximity basis around it, where it's, say once again, maybe 10 feet from the player in which they can see that. So perhaps that is where this came from. It was the building block for projectile vomiting, but nonetheless, Seasickness was cut and leading us into the number 3 one here today. Number 3 up on this list actually goes to something called Power Trip. And this one, really, I think there's a couple of different ways that it could work out, and it really is intriguing to me as to what it could do, but again, we'll never know probably because that of its cut state. But the icon for this is rather intriguing because you're literally tripping zombies with a power cord, but I can't envision anything that really would do this perhaps, but maybe it would be something that would activate traps either automatically or allow you to activate them at a lesser or free of charge cost. And that's something that I think would be kind of cool, kind of like a fire sale for traps. But I honestly have no idea how to interpret the icon here with this one, because once again, unless it was like a whimsical Gobblegum where you activated it and it would simply like literally wrap up zombies' feet in a power cord, it really wouldn't make too much sense as to what this could literally interpret to. So of the cut Gobblegums we've discussed here today, I think that is probably the toughest to interpret, maybe tied with the next one here up on this list, and that brings us to the final one that I want to discuss. This one is called Fire and Forget. Now, once again, looking at this icon, it's rather weird looking and something that right off the bat I couldn't pinpoint something as to what this might be. But of course, as with these other ones that are completely cut and have absolutely no description about them, anything could really go here with this. So of course, with that said, feel free to drop your thoughts for any of these down there in the comments, but maybe if I were to guess on what Fire and Forget would be, perhaps it gives you infinite ammo, where you fire and you forget about your ammo count, you don't have to pay attention to that, so you simply just continue shooting, and perhaps this might even, in that instance, be the basic building blocks of the infinite ammo from Infinite Warfare zombies that we see. So that might be a stretch, but I don't know. Another idea that I kind of had with it was perhaps it has something to do where you forget something bad, similar to the process of maybe shooting a downed player and then being revived. So kind of like an instant revive, but something where you have to shoot the player as you're doing it. So I don't know, I think that's some food for thought though, and of course, once again, with all of these being completely cut from the game, their only likeliness being in the very minute instances in which they are in terms of icons in the game code, we have nothing to go off of with these, so I thought it'd be interesting to bring these up, get your feedback and your thoughts here on this, and also take a look at something that might be quite cool to some of you guys, because as I've mentioned a couple of times recently, I love taking a look at stuff that has never made it up into the public versions of the game that we see as an entire community. This kind of stuff absolutely fascinates me, so feel free to drop your thoughts and your ideas for them down there in the comment section down below, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little look in at a couple of Gobblegums that never made it into the public version of Black Ops 3. So with that said, that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Once again, drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Any ideas that you have for these are of course greatly welcomed. There's no right or wrong answer because a lot of these, except for Private Eyes, we don't have any information on. So you could be right, you could be wrong, but we'll never know. And that's kind of the beauty of the whole thing too as well. So that said, drop your thoughts. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Zombies Chronicles, Zombies, Black Ops 3 multiplayer, Call of Duty World War II, Modern Warfare Mastered, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. And I want to thank you guys so much for the absolutely insane support on the videos recently. Truly, truly do appreciate it. We just hit 70,000 subscribers, so I can't thank you guys enough for that as well. So finally, one final thing, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter to stay connected, that is the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube and practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to check up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below if you guys want to toss a follow. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys all later. My name has been Nikolai Espresso. Take care and peace.